Hi, welcome to the Black Bear Zone. I'm your host, Greg Abbas. You know, black bear hunting can be an exciting and thrilling sport that can send chills down your spine when that mighty and powerful animal comes in. But to find this elusive creature, we must first do our scouting. And with us today is Dusty Broadhagen, Guide Supreme of Bear Creek Outfitters, and he's going to tell us a little bit on how to find them. Well, from observing these black bear, they have very good senses. I wouldn't classify their eyesight as great, but they can and will see your tree stand, but they don't seem to pay much attention to it unless they catch a movement. And if you do a quick movement, they will catch you.
That's right. They do have very poor eyesight, and I mean they can distinguish shadows, but unless they pick up a fast movement, they won't pick you out of the tree.
But their sense of smell and their hearing
is excellent, especially the sense of smell. They rely mostly on the sense of smell. They will hear loud noises in that too, but generally that won't spook them, but the smell is what you have to be the most careful about.
Oh, no doubt about it. In fact, I noticed when they're coming into baits, they're wind checking all the time. They're putting that nose up in there and they're smelling. And it's not only the bait, but they want to know who might be at that bait because they don't want to get beat up, do they?
That's right. There's generally more than one bear working each stand, and there's a hierarchy. The dominant bear takes precedent, and the little ones are always looking out for him. They don't want to be caught at the bait unaware.
Now, it is typical for them to come in slowly, wind check. The hunter probably shouldn't be concerned that the bear's not going to come in.
That's right. They're going to circle. Generally, you'll have to watch them 15 to 20 minutes before they finally make the bait. And because they don't make very much noise in the woods, a lot of times they're circling you and you don't realize until they're right at the bait.
Also, when that bear comes into the bait, once he starts eating, you can generally get away with a little bit more as far as movement.
Yes, as you saw the one evening that we were sitting, I dropped my book out of the tree stand and the bear lifted his head up and just went right back to eating.
He did. Yeah, once they get into it, they seem to be indulging there. So that actually is an excellent time for a bow hunter to stand up and lift his or her weapon.
Yes, you can get away with a little more noise, a little more movement. Once they're concentrating on the feed, they're pretty content.
This first hunt demonstrates how well bear use their sense of smell when approaching, as they do not want to get caught at a food source by a more dominant bear. Eddie's muzzleloader fails to go off. He quickly puts on another cap and waits another 20 minutes for the bear to return to give him another opportunity. Can you believe it? The muzzleloader fails to go off for a second time. Eddie now grabs his bow and hopes for the best. You hit him in the heart. Nice shot.
Wow.
Congratulations, Ed.
Thank you.
That is a bruiser. Look at that arrow sticking out right there. That's that game tracker arrow, ain't it? You probably got a 300-pounder there.
Wow. Man, the size of that son of a gun. Wow. Man, oh man.
What a shot you put on him. Man,
Good angle on him, man. You know,
you hit him right in the heart.
yeah.
I can't believe you had the patience to wait. I was shaking hard.
Yeah. I hate to lose a big animal like that.
You waited for the shot. You done the ethical thing.
Yeah.
Waited for a good broadside, and it paid off.
Yep.
Well, this afternoon we're gonna set up a new bait stand, try a new area. I like to set my stands approximately 2 miles apart. Gives the bears lots of room so you don't have overlap. And generally what I look for is I look for a low swampy or area where there's some moving water that has lots of natural food for them. And if there's some hills that funnel them in, that's great because they like to follow the ravines. And so once we find a suitable spot, we're gonna walk into the woods and set up a new bait stand. Well, I think we found a suitable spot here. I've got 2 clear cuts on either side of me and a strip of forest going through. And down on the side of the ravine here is a big river and there's a lake off in behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of set the bait kind of on the side of the ravine because you don't want to be in the very bottom because you'll get a funneling effect with the wind and it'll be easier for the bears to scent you. So we're going to go in here and see if we can find a couple suitable trees for tree stands and set up the crib. Well, I think we found a suitable spot here. We've got lots of trees with cover for tree stands. I like to have at least 2 or 3 different spots where we can set up a stand. That way if someone needs to move or if the wind conditions are wrong, we can move the stand. I'm going to set up the crib properly so the prevailing winds are from the west, so you want the trees in an area where the bear won't be downwind of the hunter. So we're going to get the crib set up now and get the bait ready. What I like to do when I'm setting up a new bait is to put out some meat just in order to scent up the area and so they find the bait. Once they find the bait, you don't need to use meat anymore. But it's a good way to get them in the first time. I like to wrap it in a burlap sack so the scent can get through, but the other animals can't get at it, and hang it from a tree. Just put a slit in there, get a nice long pole. And then find a good place to set it up high where the scent's going to carry the farthest and the bear won't be able to tear it down right away. Now you want to make sure you scent up the area quite a bit the first time you do a bait because it'll take them a while to find it. Once they find it, you don't need to worry about doing this as much. But I also like to scent all the trees in the area that I can, and I also spray on my way out back to the truck, just so you've got as much scent as you can around. Well, now that I've done spraying the area and we've got the crib set up the way we want it, we'll come back here in about 3 or 4 days and check it out and respray it. If it hasn't been hit, we'll dump as much scent as we can and see how things go.
Wow, yeah, that bucket's down. Whoa, look at that.
Wow, that is a big pile.
It's not often I get excited about bear scat, but look at that pile. Is that what you call a pop can bear?
Yes, it is, and the reason we call it that is because the diameter is about the size of a pop can, so.
A lot of blueberries in there.
Yep, a lot of blueberries. That's pretty much their main diet this time of year.
So what are we baiting with today?
We've got, in here, we've got some broken up donuts. We've got some sweet feed, horse feed, and cooking oil that we get from either the chicken places or something that has some
They like
really
that
sweet
chicken
smell.
stuff, don't they?
They do love chicken.
So you got a crib made now.
Yep.
I see a couple bear trails too.
It looks like he's come, one of his main trails is right over the back of the crib. And it's amazing what they can walk on.
Definitely. Look at the grease. Look at the grease right on the log right there.
Yep. And you got some scratch marks in the log. Yep. And
Now, the reason for the cribs, why we have them in a V shape, is so we could position the bear's body better for a quartering away shot or a good broadside.
Exactly. The perfect shot is a quartering away, and it's if you have a nice crib set up where the bear walks in and you've got your stand placed in the right area, he's going to give you a shot no matter what. You don't want him coming in behind the bait and reaching in behind, because then you just can watch him and you'll never get a shot.
Well, Dusty, looks like a good setup.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out here and see what's here.
This is a prime example of how cribs can be effectively used to help position bear for a good broadside shot. The action on this hunt started immediately, as we weren't even in the stand for 2 minutes when I noticed movement to our left. In fact, I hadn't even had a chance to sit yet, as I was tightening my safety strap when this beautiful bear started his approach. He knew we were there as he snapped his teeth to warn us that this was his domain.
Exciting or what? That's a big animal there. Oh, I can't believe it. He must have been laying about 30 yards away. He must have watched us come by and bait. We just got up in the tree stand. We weren't here 2 minutes. And then I heard a little crack, and I looked, and I seen Black walking through the woods, and I said, man, Dusty, there he is. We weren't ready at all. This has got to be one of the most exciting days of my life. Oh, thank you, Bear Creek Outfitters. Awesome hunt. Oh, that bear's down. Let's go see him.
There's some blood right there. Yeah, it's nice, bright color. Bubbly. Nice, bubbly, bright color blood that usually indicates lung shot. I can see where he tore up the ground up here, so come on along. Wow, that's some really good blood. I can see he's spraying both sides there. Most definitely lung shot. There's a drop of blood. There's the arrow right there. Oh yeah, that has lung tissue all over it. Man, well, let's continue the trail and find this bear. See more blood up there, squirting out both sides. There he is, right there. He's down. Nice bear. Man, nice big pads on him. Oh, baby. Oh, what a beauty. Throw this back in my quiver here. Oh, yes, sir. Look at that. Took him right behind the shoulder. Oh, he got a big head on him. You know, you don't often see this dark-colored snout. What a beautiful animal. Got a nice blaze on the front. Look at that. It's the first bear I've taken with blaze. Look at them big honkers of feet. Man, that's a big pad. That's, wow, size of my hand there. Yeah, he'll probably go about 250 pounds. Very respectable animal. It's the biggest bear I've taken. What do we have going here, Dust?
Well, we're just mixing up some bait here. Got some sweet feed and some cracked corn mixed in there right now. Then after that, I sweeten it up with some old cooking oil we get from the restaurants.
Oh, that looks good.
Pour a little in there and grab the stick. Then when you flip that bucket over, that grease soaks into the ground and takes on that either chicken or french fry or fish flavor, whatever the grease is, and those bears just love it. Then after that, we take a few pastries, toss a couple of those in there, break them up into little pieces, so because a lot of times the bears will grab them and walk off, eat them and come back, and break them into pieces, throw them in there, and then take out one of your cover scents, either liquid smoke, this one has some shellfish oil in it, caramel's another good one, or anise, and just get a little cover scent in there as well. All these things should make you a successful hunter. Well, as you can see, this bait site has been completely destroyed. We've got these big logs here. We usually have a crib set up, and he's leveled them right out. The bait bucket, looks like he's been jumping on it or something. He's squished it, and it's got numerous teeth marks in.
Big teeth marks.
Big teeth marks. You can usually tell a Pope and Young bear if you measured the distance between the two canines. If it's 2 1/8 inches, we've found that every bear that's had a 2 1/8 inch spread between its canines has made book.
No kidding.
So that's something you can measure on the pail if you can get a couple clean canine bites in it. Because we're baiting every day, you want to make sure the bears are hungry and keep them back to the stand. If you put a full pail of bait out there, they're going to eat it all in one night, and then maybe they won't be hungry the next day, and if they're feeling a little scared or cautious, they're not going to come in and hit the bait. So what you want to do is you just want to put out a small amount, maybe 1/4 of a pail to 1/3 of a pail, and that's all you'll need to keep them coming back.
Now also, being that you're baiting smaller amounts, if there's multiple bear, this would encourage them to come out earlier because it creates competition among the other bears.
Exactly.
If they want it, they have to come out earlier to get it.
That's right.
Why don't you show us how you do the baiting here?
Okay.
You use that 4-old bucket.
That's right, the 4-old beat-up bucket.
Well, these bear happen to be stealing these buckets around here, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Sometimes we have to wire them to the tree to keep them here. Even though we usually flip the bait upside down so they don't just grab the pail and run off. Good idea is to jam it back in the corner and flip it upside down. That leaves all the bait right on the ground, right in the V where you want his head to be, and that way he doesn't grab the bucket, run off a little ways.
Well, you also use this some sort of heavy weight,
That's
a log
right.
or a big rock.
This keeps the critters out. We got skunks and porcupines and lots of pine squirrels.
A lot of pine squirrels.
So you keep that on there and just hold the pail down, and that way the bear has to. It's the only one that can get in there.
All right, what do you do with this spray here?
The spray, you should put it on a fog setting and hit the trees and the crib, and you want to get everything in the area.
What do you have in there?
This is a secret mixture right now.
there's got some liquid smoke and some vanilla. A lot of guys use anise or some other just fairly potent smell that covers up a lot and plus gets in the air, and it's almost like a dinner bell. They get a whiff of this smell floating through the air and they know we've just baited, so they'll come in and hit the bait. And it's good to carry this with you even when you go up to sit, and sometimes it's good to occasionally spray it from the tree stand while you're sitting there, maybe once or twice an hour. Just shoot a couple sprays up in the air and they can get a whiff of that.
Making me hungry. It smells good. My stomach's growling. This next hunt demonstrates how using smaller portions of food can bring out multiple bear at an earlier time frame by creating competition.
Swirl a little bit.
This bear is aware of our presence. He knows where we are, but he doesn't know what we are. As long as we hold still, he's not going to see us. But as he draws near, he makes us nervous as he comes in close to investigate.
Man, he's down. He's down. We got him. All right. Wow, look at over here. Here's the arrow. Man, that went right through the bear, and look at how far it went into that log. Talk about penetration. That was great. Look at all this blood. Wow, look at this blood. Man, he's not going far. There he is, right over there. He's down. Oh, wow. Man, look at that. The shot went, it was about in the middle, a little bit higher than middle.
and come out low on the other side. Clean pass through. We went about 30 yards. What a beauty. Look at that. Look at the color on that muzzle. Oh, this is great.
You know, we're at bear camp here and there's 11 guys. Well, a few of them wanted to party last night and they didn't get in till 3 a.m. And of course the rest of us were sleeping. They shook our legs when they came in and woke us up. And of course they were sleeping in 15 minutes and we were up for hours. It's payback time. It's early morning. We'll get them now. Now, the charge here is one of the guys coming in and waking up everybody. How do you find him?
Guilty as charged.
He must pay.
You must pay.
Must pay.
Dearly.
Good morning. Good morning, Sleepy Beauty. Well, I can see the predominant wind is blowing this way. We need to get our stands up. So I'd say somewhere in this area here.
Yeah, off to the south there.
And that looks like a nice tree right there.
Yeah, that's in the perfect direction. Wind will be good.
15-yard shot max.
Yeah.
So good. Check out this tree. I need to trim it up a little bit, but we got some pretty good cover in there. That's only 15 yards from the bait. We're well concealed. I need to do a little pruning here. Place the tree stands and we'll let this area kind of cool off and let the bear resume their normal activities. There, we have our second stand up now. This is where the cameraman sits, and this is where the hunter sits, where I'm at now. And as you can see, it's an L shape. The cameraman will almost see what I'm seeing. And if you're ever gonna do your own videos, this is an excellent setup.
Been hitting the bait really good. Been digging down to get it. We keep putting these brush over there and covering it up. Been seeing a lot of, over here, you got a nice big boar, we think, in the area, making these claw marks. It's a good sign that there's a boar in this area. And over here, we've been seeing a lot of droppings. And they're good size. So we think they're gonna be a nice size bear. Hopefully tonight we're gonna have some luck.
What you think?
Oh man, I couldn't get him in the viewfinder for a second. I couldn't get him in the sight pin for some reason.
You got him?
Yeah,
That was
I got
great
him. Oh
shot.
man, that was fantastic.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Great, Greg. You do bring luck. Oh,
Nice bear. Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. Oh, there's Zero. Good blood. Real good blood. Went right through him. Looks like a double lunger. Here's some blood. There's some more. Oh, here's a real good spot. He's bleeding good. Looks like a double lunger. Got some bubbles in it. Here's blood. Looks like a double. Looks like it must have went right through him. Blood here. There's some more. There he is. We got him. There he is. Oh, great. Oh, man, nice size bear. Nice size. Good hit on him. Double one. Oh, yeah, he's a good bear. Nice coat. Nice size of paws on him, too. Must weigh 250, 275.
You know, of all the animals I hunt, probably the black bear is the hardest one to judge for size. There's a couple tricks you can use to help you determine the size of the bear and if he's a keeper to you or not. Number one thing I look for is the size of the ears. If the ears look big on the bear, it's probably a small bear. That means his head is small and the ears look large. In contrast, if you get a big old bear coming in and them ears look small, they're kind of off to the sides, that's a keeper. That's a good sized bear. That means he's got a big head and his ears are much smaller. Also on the head, if he's got a big blocky head and he's got that crease down the middle of it, that's a keeper. That's usually a big old boar gets that crease down the middle, and it takes him a few years to get that. That's most definitely a keeper. The length of the bear is an excellent way of determining if he's a keeper. A good trick is to get yourself a pole, maybe 5 foot long, a stick, put it down by your bait. And when that bear walks in, you could kind of compare the size of that pole to the length of the bear's body, and if it exceeds 5 foot, it's probably a keeper. Another thing I look for is if the bear is streamlined or if he's fat looking. If he's streamlined, he doesn't have the gut, he walks pretty quickly, that's probably a young bear. It's probably one you might want to pass on. In contrast, you get that big old bear coming in, he's got the big gut, he's walking in with a waddle. That's a good indicator that it's also a keeper. So here's a couple tips that can help you out and determine if you have a keeper bear or not. On this next hunt, I was determined to hold off for a larger bear. Judging size would definitely come into play. The first day started off with rain, but it neither dampened our spirits nor that of the bear. As it was early in the hunt, I was shopping around for that big one that we knew was in the area, and I decided to let this one pass. I find bear to be very curious animals who investigate new sights and smells. Therefore, close encounters like this are fairly common. After drying out our clothing, we returned the next day to find that our bait bucket had been stolen. It didn't take long for us to find the culprit. As the day progressed, the weather cleared and a lifelong question was answered. Well, we're changing stand locations now. The place we were at was good. I mean, we've seen 3 bear. But the big boar, I think's a little smart. He's not showing up, and I honestly didn't want to take the sow, although she was legal. She produces cubs every other year, and we'd like to see that help the population of bear continue. I don't know too much about this stand area here. There's not much for sign. I haven't seen no scratchings or droppings, but the area just looks awesome. Everything Dusty described as far as ravines and water, everything's here. So we'll give this a few days and we'll see what happens. The change in location paid off, as it was not long before we detected movement in the woods. Oh my God, I'm shaking. That's at least a 400-pound bear, biggest one I've ever gotten. Time is winding down here, and I was gonna take a 150-pounder. Oh my God, I can't believe he came in. Oh, he just circled and circled. He's so smart. Was this exciting? Oh. Oh my God, I'm shaking more now. He seen me draw back and I thought, oh no. But then he went back down and I released the shot. Man, let's go down and see him. He's down. I seen the bushes move and he's down. It's a good shot. Oh, there's Arrow, part of it. Wow. Well, he went up this way, so let's get up on him, follow some blood. There's some good blood right there. There's more up here. There he is. There he is. Dead bear. Oh, what a beautiful bear. Wow. He's every bit as big as I thought. Holy cow. Wow. Look at that. Oh, his big old boar. Wow. Ooh. Look at the head on him. That is one big animal. Come on over here. Look at how beautiful, how big. I see, it took him right behind the shoulder, right there. Man, he didn't go far. 20 yards. Whew. Gonna take more than 2 of us to get him out of the woods. Well, the young guys have already gone home, so my bear's the only one in the cooler here. But let's go take a look at him and we'll do a body size comparison, give you an idea of how big this bear really is. Come on along. Jeez, what a monster. He is one big animal. I'm going to sit right next to him here. This will kind of give you an idea. And he's tall and wide. I weigh close to 180 pounds. And I think he's just a little bit bigger than me. Oh boy, what an awesome animal. Now the kill zone on these bear, you either want obviously a broadside or quartering away shot,
Right.
but their anatomy is a little different than a deer.
Yeah, bear's heart and lung area is set back a little bit farther behind the shoulder than a deer. So when you're making that shot, you want to half the animal and move a little bit towards the shoulder rather than concentrating on the shoulder and moving back, because you don't want to crowd that front shoulder.
Well, I found through our experiences here, when you do make a less than desirable shot, and if it's in the body cavity, we've recovered our bear. We just back off till the next day.
Exactly. If you think you've made a too far back shot, we generally leave it sit for the night and go
Or
out
gut
the next.
shot.
That's right. And we go out the next morning and do it then, because you don't want to push the bear.
Generally, I find that bear die easier than most any other animal I've hunted if you back off and leave them alone.
Exactly.
We've always come back the next morning, and we usually find them within 100 yards.
Yeah, that's right. As long as you're not pushing them, they won't go far at all.
This is my son, Jack, and his friend, my friend Eric. We're up here bear hunting, and it's just a dream come true to have these guys here with us. Not only to drag out the bears, so us old guys don't have to do it, but truthfully, when they get a certain age, it's hard to find things to do to spend quality time with your kids, and I've looked forward to this. We've been planning this for over a year now.
After a practice session, Jack was ready for the real thing. After reviewing the footage, I really felt bad for young Jack. He is one of the most nicest, conscientious young men I know. He'd give the shirt off his back for you. He practices very hard, but as he and most of us have found out at some point in our careers, human error will occur. After spending a sleepless night, Jack and the rest of us decided to pick up the trail early the next morning.
Here's some blood. Looks like he went through here. Here's some more. Oh, there we go.
He's dead.
All right,
way
to go, Jack.
Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, he's handy.
Yeah, he's a real nice one.
Wow.
Straight over top of it.
All right, father, son.
I wanted to pass it.
Yeah, go. Yeah, see if you can find the bait.
Here, a little pass.
Well, Jack, how's it feel, man?
Oh, sweet.
Here, give me a handshake here.
Thanks.
Wow, first bear, huh?
Yep, first bear.
So what happened?
Oh,
Tell me the story.
well, we were sitting there and it was getting real quiet in the woods, and then all of a sudden I just saw him moving through, and it got his attention so we could get on film, and came in, and we thought he was going to leave because we thought the bucket was already turned upside down. So first opportunity I got, I drew back, and then he went behind the bucket, behind the cradle, and then he came back, and by then I was already shaking because of nerves and from holding it back, and
Oh, you were drawn back the whole time.
yeah. And I took him far back, and it came out kind of low on the other side.
Now you looked a little bummed out
Yeah.
last night.
Oh yeah, I was bumming big time. I didn't get much sleep. Kept replaying the shot over and over.
How's it feel hunting here with your dad?
Oh, it's awesome. We got it on film and everything, and now tonight we get to come back and I get to film him. So
Great.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Jack's father, Mark, ended up helping out with Jack's bear and was unable to get out to the stand that night. However, Mark went to his stand the following morning to find that it was visited by a bear the previous night.
Hey, I see the bait's been hit again. Yes, yes. Did you see that? I thought he was going to go down right there. That's awesome.
Man, congratulations.
Thanks, Greg. And thanks, Bear Creek Outfitters. Oof.
Man,
Can't
that
wait
looked
to
like a nice hit on that bear.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I didn't think he's ever gonna come in.
No, I didn't either. And then once I shot, it looked like he didn't even know what in the world happened. He just stood there. Then he took a few steps and stood there again. I thought he was going to drop right there. Man, this is bear hunting. There's the arrow right here. Look at the blood. There's blood all over. Here's some blood. There's some blood right here. We got to get right on this bear because of the weather. There's a storm brewing. It'll be in any time. Normally we wouldn't do that. Blood here. Blood here. There he is, right over there.
Nice bear. Congratulations, Mark.
Thanks. Thanks a bunch. Look at the paws on this thing. Whew, they're mammoth. Look at the head. Look how long this is. Look at them big canines.
What do you think he'll weigh?
I think he'll weigh between 3 and 350. There's a good chance he may go Pope and Young, which would make my second bear in 4 years here at Bear Creek Outfitters to go Pope and Young. Good shot at that. He is a beauty, so long. I am thrilled to death. This is the same stand my son shot his bear out of, his first bear, I should say. That's a real father and son deal there, I'll tell you what. Same stand, two beautiful, beautiful bears. I just wish he was here so I could give him a hug. Love him to death.
If you're going to come up bear hunting into Canada, there's a few things you should bring with you. Number one, I'd say the bug spray. The black flies, they're here. They're not as bad as they are in the spring, but they do irritate you. But you're using the insect repellent mostly for the mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes are what's going to get you to move in the stand, and you really want to keep your movement down. As far as scent goes, I find that bear pay little or no attention at all to somebody wearing insect repellent. Secondly, I'd really recommend a GPS unit and a compass. When you get to tracking these bear in the woods, the swamps and the blowdowns, it all looks the same as you're tracking and you really get confused. This GPS has saved us on more than one occasion here in the last few years. Pulled us out of the woods and took us right back to our vehicles. Game view camera or trail timers, these are very good devices for learning what time animals come in. This will tell me what time they're coming in. This one also takes digital pictures so I can tell right on the spot what's coming in. I'm able to monitor several locations at one time.
But through last year's experience, these bear like eating game view cameras, they like eating trail timers. That gets expensive. So I had a friend of mine build this metal cage here. So hopefully that'll keep the bear out.
Also, if you get to a military surplus, these body bags really come in handy for transporting them bear out of the woods. They have 6 handles on them, and it makes it much easier than trying to lift the paws and head of these bears. If you've ever tried that before, them paws are always slipping out, and you get a heavy animal, it's darn near impossible to lift them over these deadfalls. So here's a few items that I think would help you on your next hunt. We now join Nick Martin in the tree stand as he is visited by a rare to Ontario color-phased black bear. After burning some honey to attract some bear, it's not long before this rare to Ontario color-phased bear comes in. Notice how cautious this bear is as he approaches. He's sniffing the air to make sure that there's not a larger bear that's going to chase him off. Nick waited for the rare color-phased bear to give him a shot, but darkness fell before he had his opportunity and the bear walked off. Nick would have to hope that the next day would bring better results. Early the next evening, Nick returned to the same tree stand in hopes of seeing the color-phased black bear again. On this day, luck was with him. Nick spotted the beautiful color-phased black bear after being in the stand for only 10 minutes.
He went down right there. I heard him over there. I didn't even see him sneak up on us. Finally. Here's some more about there. Here's some more there. And we heard them in there thrashing around last. Came up to hunt bears with Bear Creek Outfitters. Had a great hunt. Saw him last night. Just couldn't get a shot. Came right in tonight. Made a good shot and he went less than 50 yards.
While we're at the bait station of Bear Creek Outfitters, this is where they keep the grease, the grain, and the donuts. The donuts have been disappearing on a daily basis, and we don't know if we have a bear coming in here or what's taking place, so I'm going to set up a game view camera and or a surveillance camera and see who the culprit is. After reviewing the tape of the surveillance camera, I was at first outraged to find out that the culprit wasn't a bear at all, but rather one of the members of our hunting party. I was a little upset at first, but then it started making sense. The pieces started falling together like a puzzle. Once I remembered what this fella done for a living. After a good round of practice, A-Way Pro staffer Rob Fisher is ready for the hunt. He's not on stand long before a bruiser of a bear shows up.
We're gonna try to get a bear tonight. We're giving up the moose hunt for an evening. Sit on an active bait. Hopefully we'll have good luck.
The first animal to come in was the snowshoe hare with Boone and Crockett feet. All of a sudden, a squirrel started chattering, which tipped Rob off to some movement out in the brush.
I thought I lost him. He came in early. My jacket made a little noise. He spooked off. About 20 minutes later, he come back in. Nice shot. I think he only went about 20 yards and he's laying right over there. Let's get down and get him. Hey, there's my arrow. Complete pass-through. Put that in there. Let's go get my bear. Wow, wasn't that exciting? I'm up here at Bear Creek Outfitters in Northern Ontario doing the bear moose combo, and the moose haven't seemed to be cooperating the last couple days, so tonight we decided to go bear hunting, and I shot this beautiful bear. She came in and she was awfully edgy and spooked off, and 20 minutes later she come in and I put a nice shot on her. She ran about 20 yards, and man, am I excited. I'm really excited. This was a good time.
Well, one of the great things about this territory we have here is the number of bears, and we see the population of bears we have seems to be fairly consistent year after year, and I think it has to do with the fact that we only take 12 hunters a week, where a lot of operators are running 50 to 100 hunters. We're just put a few hunters through every week, and that makes sure that not only is there big bears, but everybody has a great chance of getting their animal. And with the territory we have as well, there's been a lot of logging, so there's a lot of blueberry patches and a lot of feed for them, natural food, and anything like that that can sustain the population always helps.
Expert bear guide Dusty Broadhagen works very hard to make his hunters successful. He considers it a rare treat to pick up the bow and hunt himself.
Well, unfortunately tonight, the bait's already been hit before I got here. Not only did he eat all the bait, he stole the pail as well, so I can't make any noise. So hopefully we'll get lucky and one will wander by just to check on the bait, but might be a strange night. Well, as you saw last night, bear did come back in even though there's no bait at the pile and gave me the shot opportunity. And he busted me when I was out half draw. I was left holding both the bow and other things in my hand. So we came in a little earlier today and moved my stand to a different position now that he knows where the other one is. And so hopefully we haven't spooked him too bad that he'll become nocturnal. So we'll give him a chance tonight and see what happens. Well, all that hard work finally paid off. Oh, what a beautiful animal. We came in this morning. After I spooked him last night, he spotted me, and we changed the position of the stand. And the first thing he did when he came in is he went around and he started smelling around the other tree that I was sitting in last night. And it's only about 6 o'clock. He came in really early. And yeah, with the bait there to keep him occupied, he just gave me a perfect broadside shot. And I saw him drop about 50 yards back there. So, oh, that's excellent. What a beautiful animal. up here. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. First thing he did is went right over to the tree I was sitting in last night and smelled around to see if I was there. And after he saw I wasn't, he headed right over to the bait. And as soon as he started tipping the bucket over, I shot him. But he is a beautiful bear. Just a huge head. I can barely even lift it. Yeah, he's a nice one. Well, now we're gonna try and get him out of the woods here and get him back to camp.
As with every trip to Bear Creek Outfitters, Team Ayway had a great time. The camaraderie, midday fishing, and the outstanding bear hunting makes this one of our most favorite trips each year. I took a moment to visit with Dusty and thank him for the great time we all had. Well, Dusty, once again we had a great time, and I'd like to thank you for having Team Ayway here, sir.
Well, thanks for coming again, Greg.
5 years in a row now we've come, and we've had about 95% success. And is this typical of your guide service?
Very rarely does a hunter go home without a bear.
Well, we've always seen them, and we've always gotten into them ourselves. And in fact, this week brought us pretty good luck.
Yeah, we had a huge average this week, probably 225, 250, big bears.
You have a camp full of happy hunters, sir.
That's great.
If you'd like to experience some of this happiness and get into this bear hunting, give Bear Creek Outfitters a call. Well, I hope you enjoyed your trip to the Black Bear Zone. Hopefully you picked up a few tips that's going to help you out on your next trip to the Black Bear Woods. Be sure to be watching for some more exciting Ayway Outdoors videos. You can find them at our website at awayhunting.com. There you'll also find articles, video clips, the products that Ayway Hunting Products offers. You can even swap hunts with other hunters online, so visit our website today. Until next time, good hunting, fishing, and God bless.
Ah, see the bait. Here again.
Yeah. You got 5 words to say and you screw it up.
Bubba, take 2.
Well, Dusty, once again, we had a great time, and I'd like to thank you for having Team Ayway here.
Well, thanks for coming again, Greg.
Well, 5 years in a row now, we've had about 95% success. Is this indicative of your guide service?
Year after year, we seem to do very well, always at over 85%. So.
Well, we had a good year bear.
Indicative, man. I'm gonna have to look that word up.
Hey, look, don't be truculent now.
Hi, Ma.
Once again, we're in the 95% success. You guys do an outstanding job, sir. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming. Hope to see you again next year.
We'll be here.
Great.
If you'd like to experience some of the black flies buzzing around that lens, come on up. Help yourself.
Plenty for everyone.
You do guided fly hunts too, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. We can supply the bait.
Yeah, live. Well, Mr. Dusty, thanks again for having us again.
Man, I'm about ready to film my fly tag. I got one on the back of my head.
Bubba, whatever.
Well, once again, ow! Damn ants. Sitting on an anthill, this isn't good. I better hurry up with this. I better get it right. Welcome to Ayway Outdoors. This week finds us in Ontario, Canada, going after the mighty blackbird. They're huge! You know, most TV shows play background music. You ever wonder how they do that? You think they just pop in a CD or something, don't you? We're going to show you how the Ayway Backwoods Band does it.